Do you know why he said it? I can't figure it out. It doesn't make sense why you would make this claim unless you're self-aggrandizing. This is Governor Tim Walz from the great state of Minnesota, who wants to be the vice president of the United States, who finally they did one call out of him last night in that debate, and it was about his time in Hong Kong. Let's watch together, and let's see if we can fact-check this as we go.
Governor Walz, you said you were in Hong Kong during the deadly Tiananmen Square protests in the spring of 1989. But Minnesota Public Radio and other media outlets are reporting that you actually didn't travel to Asia until August of that year. Can you explain that discrepancy?
Yeah.
So he said he was there in Hong Kong when the Tiananmen Square uprising happened, and it turns out he's been fact-checked, and he wasn't. Let's see if he explains how this discrepancy happened.
Well, and to the folks out there who didn't get at the top of this, look, I grew up in small rural Nebraska, town of 400, town that you rode your bike with your buddies till the streetlights come on, and I'm proud of that service.
Did you ride your bike to Hong Kong? What does this have to do with anything? And again, something about his buddies and the streetlights, and he's proud of that service? The service of riding your bike? Oh, let's just pick it up.
I joined the National Guard at 17.
Good.
Worked on family farms. Mm-hmm. And then I used the GI Bill to become a teacher.
Okay. He worked on farms, rode his bike until the lights came on or something. He enjoyed that service. GI Bill, good. Joined the National Guard, great. And then, I don't know. Why is there a discrepancy on when you said you were there?
A young teacher. My first year out, I got the opportunity in the summer of '89 to travel to China. 35 years ago, be able to do that. No. I came back home and then started a program to take young people there. We would take basketball teams, we would take baseball teams, we would take dancers, and we would go back and forth to China.
Why? Why baseball, basketball, and dancers and your students to China? Take them to Mount Rushmore. Take them to Disney World. Why China? I don't understand. And again, I've been to China, adopted my daughter there, and it was fine. But why would you go 15 times or 30 times or whatever it was? And why not tell the truth about when you were there chronologically? I mean, he self-aggrandizes by saying he was there when that thing happened in Tiananmen Square.
The issue for that was to try and learn. Now, look, my community knows who I am. They saw where I was at. Look, I will be the first to tell you, I have poured my heart into my community. Okay. I've tried to do the best I can, but I've not been perfect.
What does that have to do with you making up the date you were in China?
I'm a knucklehead at times,
yes,
but it's always been about that. Those same people elected me to Congress for 12 years. And in Congress, I was one of the most bipartisan people, working on things like farm bills that we got done, working on veterans benefits. And then the people of Minnesota were able to elect me to governor twice. So look, my commitment has been from the beginning to make sure that I'm there for the people, to make sure that I get this right. I will say more than anything. Many times I will talk a lot. I will get caught up in the rhetoric. But being there, the impact it made, the difference it made in my life, I learned a lot about China.
I'm confused. Did you make up the date you were there to make it look like you were there during the uprising? It's a simple question. He's gone for like 2 minutes. He hasn't said anything yet. What?
Hear the critiques of this. I would make the case that Donald Trump should have come on one of those trips with us.
What?
I guarantee you he wouldn't be praising Xi Jinping about COVID, and I guarantee you he wouldn't start a trade war that he ends up losing. So this is about...
Okay, Trump didn't lose any trade war. I don't know what he's talking about. Is anybody... Listen, tell me if I'm the one who's acting stupid here, because he has not answered as to why there was a discrepancy in the date yet.
Trying to understand the world. It's about trying to do the best you can for your community. And then it's putting yourself out there and letting your folks understand what it is. My commitment, whether it be through teaching, which I was good at, or whether it was being a good soldier or was being a good member of Congress, those are the things that I think are the values that people care about.
What?
Governor, just to follow up on that, the question was, can you explain the discrepancy?
All I said on this was I got there that summer and misspoke on this. So I will just, that's what I've said.
What?
So I was in Hong Kong and China during the democracy protests went in. And from that, I learned a lot of what needed to be in governance.
No, he literally was not there during the protest or the uprising. We just established that. He wasn't there. That's not true. Then he ends it by saying he misspoke. He was there in the summer. He was in Hong Kong when it happened. He just said that he was, and we have now verified that he wasn't. Make sure you're following. Come on.